Hello and welcome back to Watch Your English channel. What is the difference between advice and advise? Effect and effect. Accept and accept. So many of my students have trouble using these confusing words correctly. If you are not sure about the difference, this video is for you. We are going to learn about these confusing words through a story, a lot of examples, and a final dialogue. So let's get started.
The Enchanted Garden. In the small town of Maplewood, there was a park called Willow Grove. People loved it. The park had blooming flowers, old trees, and a serene pond. But recently, something strange started happening. The garden was not as bright anymore, and the plants were losing their color and life. Worried, the mayor, Mr. Thomas Brooks, decided to get help. He knew that the park's problems were not just because of neglect. He contacted Clara Evans, a well-known botanist and plant expert who had recently moved to Maplewood. Clara accepted to help and asked for some background information about the park. When Clara arrived at Willow Grove, Mayor Brooks and a few worried town people met her. "We have some ideas about what might be wrong, but we need your professional opinion," said Mayor Brooks. "Thank you for your advice," Clara said, "but I need to investigate to see how this problem might affect the garden's health. It's important to understand the effect of environmental factors," she told the mayor. Clara started to examine the park. After checking the samples, she found that the problem was not because of pests or diseases. Instead, it was because the soil's chemistry had changed. "The soil composition here is unusual," she said. "It seems that something has disrupted the natural balance." Clara decided to talk to a local historian, Mrs. Eleanor Hughes, who knew a lot about Maplewood's history. Eleanor gave Clara old documents and maps of Willow Grove. "In the past, the park was taken care of based on certain principles of gardening and ecology," Eleanor said. As Clara reviewed the historical records, she found some guidelines made by the park's original designer. The guidelines included specific actions to keep the garden healthy and sustainable. "We need to follow the original actions from these records," Clara said. Clara and Eleanor, with the help of town people, worked together to restore the garden. They used the old principles to improve the soil and pond, fixing the problems that had affected the plants. Over the weeks, the garden started to recover. The plants got their bright colors back, and the pond's water cleared up. The flowers began to bloom again, and the park's beauty was restored. Mayor Brooks was excited with the results. "Your advice and actions have made a big difference," he told Clara. "We are thankful for your expertise and the historical principles that helped." The park's recovery became a popular story in Maplewood. The town people learned how important it is to understand both historical principles and modern techniques to take care of Willow Grove. Clara's work showed how careful research and respect for traditional knowledge can help find good solutions. The garden grew well again, showing everyone the importance of balance between keeping the past and thinking about the future.
Advice is a noun. And pay attention, it is pronounced with s sound at the end, advice. But advise is a verb and is pronounced z sound at the end, advise. Advice means a suggestion, an opinion that someone offers you about what you should do or how you should act in a particular situation. For example, I asked my friend for advice about which university to attend. Pay attention. Advice is a non-countable noun, and we never say "give me some advices." It is wrong. It is true to say "give me some advice." If you want to say one advice, two advice, you can also use an expression such as a piece of advice. You can make it plural by saying pieces of advice. For example, she gave me a great piece of advice. She gave me 2 great pieces of advice. Can you give me some pieces of advice on this project? I'm looking for some advice on starting a new business. Advise. Advise is a verb and it means to give a suggestion. For example, I advised her to stay home. My teacher advised me to study harder for the exam. The doctor advised me to get more exercise. Parents often advise their children to be honest and hardworking. Now let's talk about effect and effect. Effect is a verb that means to influence, to have an impact on something. For example, lack of sleep can affect your health. The new policy of the company affected employees' mood. The weather really affected our plans for the weekend. The weather can affect my mood. Effect is a noun that means the result of something. For example, the medicine had a quick effect on me and cured my headache. The heavy rain had a negative effect on the crops. The teacher's praise had a positive effect on the student's confidence. The effect of the new law was immediate. Except and accept are another pair that are easy to mix up. They have the same pronunciation but different meaning. Accept means to agree to something, to say yes to an offer or invitation. I gladly accepted the job offer. Pay attention, it is accept, not accept. I accept your invitation to the party. The hospital accepts all major insurance plans. Please accept my apology. Accept means but not, not including someone or something. It means excluding. For example, this store is open every day except Sundays. I love all types of chocolate except dark chocolate. I'm okay with all feedback except rude comments. All the students attended the field trip except for John, who was sick. Principal and principal are confused again because they have the same pronunciation but different spelling and they have very different meanings. Principal is a noun. It means the head of a school. Principal is generally a person who is in charge of a school, a university, an organization, or business. For example, the principal called an emergency meeting with the teachers. The principal of the bank accepted the loan application. Principle is a noun that means a fundamental belief or rule. For example, one of my core principles is to be always honest. She stands by her principles. It is important to have strong principles. Pay attention. Principle can be an adjective too. As an adjective, it means the most important. For example, the principal idea of the book is to teach kindness. She is the principal dancer in the ballet company. The principal reason for the company's success was their focus on customer service. The final pair we will cover are action and activity. Action refers to the process of doing something, especially in order to achieve a particular result. It is something that is done with a specific purpose. For example, the police officer took immediate action to stop the robbery. We need emergency action on pollution from cars. We need to take action to help the environment. Taking action moves you closer to your goal. Activity is a task or a set of tasks that people do for a specific purpose or just for fun. For example, swimming is my favorite activity. My daily exercise routine is an important activity for my health. What activities are you doing this weekend? The team was engaged in many activities during their training camp.
Hey, Mike, did you hear about the new policy at work?
Yeah, John told me about it yesterday. It's going to affect everyone's schedule, right?
Exactly. The effect of this change is going to be huge. I was wondering, what's the principal reason they made this policy change? I thought it was against the company's principles.
I think the principal said it was to improve efficiency. But I agree, it seems to go against the principle of work-life balance.
Definitely. Now, what activities should we do after work to relax?
How about we bring board games and take over the break room? It'll be fun.
Perfect. I'll bring my favorite one. By the way, did you accept the invitation to the team dinner tomorrow?
Yes, I did. Everyone's coming except Tom. He is too busy.
That's too bad.
Try using each confusing pair in a sentence and share it in the comments. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more language tips. Thanks for watching.